Today I want to talk about basically finding your true self, your authentic self, people. Your true, genuine self that we seem to have been, we forgot who we are. That's what I want to talk about today, people, okay? This is Tom, this is the INFJ Experience, and I do welcome you, and I want to talk basically about why a lot of times I think our conflict, a lot of times when we go through our bouts in our heart, when we go through our depressions and our emptinesses, our sadness, our loneliness, and why we always introspect inward. All these times, what we're doing is we're searching for our authentic self, people. Now, of course, if you ever studied the works of Carl Jung, he did speak about the individualization and the actualizations of a soul, basically, of finding those steps in completing yourself and the awakenings of yourself. And I think through our life, I think that's what we're looking for. Now, as INFJs, this is, I would say, is a human condition. I think all humans are meant to find themselves. It's not strictly just one type or another. I'm not just talking about human beings in general are meant to find this. But you see, the INFJ, the way they are built, and other introverted intuitives as well. Now, they have a variation as well. But especially the INFJ is the fact that because they are so introverted and intuitive, and the way they are basically geared, the way they are structured, they have a heightened awareness of their inner self because they spend so much time there. They're very isolated there. And a lot of times it's to the point where they're so isolated they feel as though they're completely alone in the world. Now, whether or not this was all by design, which I think it was, by the way, and but a lot of times is because of the fact that they are so isolated and they feel as though there's very few to turn to. But they turn inward. They turn deep inward to introspect into themselves all the time. And they ask questions and they reach and they ask for something beyond them, something within them, yet without them, trying to figure out themselves. And I think a lot of times the conflict that we have, the way we react to people through our lives, and the way we have been indoctrinated, in the way we've been just culturally conditioned in so many ways, we have basically forgotten our true selves. And usually this is all by design. Society has structured the way things are. It's a way of robbing people's individualization just by culture itself. And if you look all around you, we're constantly bombarded with things, with things all around us, like just things on TV, on media, billboards, radio, song lyrics. Now, I'm not saying everything is bad, but there's so many subliminal, psychological type messages that are always trying to change you, shape you into something. Even school systems. Now, we've been indoctrinated through schools. I mean, we're kind of drilled with certain things in our education. We're told certain things at an early age that just kind of get us steered a certain way. We're told what to think, how to think, what opinions we're supposed to have. And if you don't have a certain opinion, then there's something wrong with you. You're looked at with scorn in some people's eyes. And you're rejected because you think a certain way. So you got peer pressure. These are all robbing you of your authentic self, your real self, people, ultimately. Now, I think a lot of times is, as INFJs, as I've said before, the way they are geared, the way they are introspective, and not only that, the way they are also geared in their senses. The fact that they have this introverted intuition, and they're able to use their introverted thinking. And if they're using it properly, and if they're really looking at it in such a way, there might be conflict there, but they're able to see deeper than what's being presented. In other words, a lot of times Most other people are content with this world. They're content with just being shaped and molded into whoever it is that they are. Maybe certain extroverted sensing types just seem to go along with the flow. Just go with the herd in a sense. Now, INFJs are built differently. Because of the fact that they have a certain way of seeing things, they see through the BS, let's just say. They really do. In so many ways, they're looking through that. But sometimes, if we're not really aware of how we're seeing these things, we're seeing it, but we can't quite understand things, and we're trying to be steered a certain direction in things. Also, we want to have some kind of connection with others. There's so many things conflicting in our mind that, yes, it causes a lot of confusion, and a lot of times we go into our depressions and our bunker zones, and we isolate, things like that. Now, a lot of times this is because we just need relief. We need some kind of an exit from the craziness of the world that we're being bombarded with. Because of the way an INFJ is built, this is why a lot of times our conflicts are coming about. And the only way to find true relief is solitude, is to just eliminate it. So all we have is the piece of our own thoughts to deal with that we can decipher around. Now, what I'm going to say is, people, that I think through the course of our lifetime, we are going through our individualization, our authentication, in a sense. We're trying to find our true selves, okay? But we do this in stages. Now, this is a lifetime of a discovery, of finding your true self. This actualization, as Carl Jung had described before, his philosophy was exactly that. And it always led to that ultimate awakening that we all find. But most of the time as we're younger, it's very turbulent because we're still self-discovering. There's so many conflicting things, as I've discovered, as I have actually demonstrated here or explained before on this channel, that we have so many times in our life where we're confused and conflicted with things. But this is all because we are being robbed of our authentic self. We're being kind of shaped, and our mind is starting to think worldly. We start thinking from our thoughts, from what we've been thought and programmed into, and we're not reacting and responding to our spirit and our code which is within us. So this conflicts with us. So maybe we react a certain way, we outburst a certain way to somebody or something, and then we begin to start regretting what we did. A lot of times then it drains us because we're going through this. So we go through a constant state of being drained. We isolate, we come out of that, we go back to the world, we drain, we isolate. Big old pattern that we go through. Because a lot of times, like I said, we're in conflict with our true self. We're trying to find that true self, but it's giving us constant conflict in ourself through our life. Now, people, I do believe this is all part of our forging moments, but the idea is you kind of have to accept what you understand. Accept these philosophies. Just understand that these are what they are. And the closer you get to them, the older you get and the wiser you get, you'll start understanding them. They'll piece together for you. Your mind will actually educate you as to where they are. They will show you that this is where your life is going. But this is part of your forging process. Now imagine, I'm going to go back to the animal kingdom, people, as I like to do, okay? And I just imagine the lobster, okay, that ectoskeleton. Am I saying that right? Ectoskeleton lobster. And usually that thing, when it starts getting too large, when it starts growing inside, too big for its shell, it molts. I mean, somehow it sheds out of that shell, it breaks out of it, and it comes out of that. Now it's a soft shell lobster. And now it has to hide under the rock, and it's vulnerable. It kind of stays out of sight. It has to, because it would be easy pickings for somebody with no protection, with no shell. And it might have to be under that rock for several weeks in order to get strong enough, get that shell resilient enough. But of course, as it emerges, it's a little bit bigger, it's older, it's a little wiser, it's a little smarter. That was a stage that it came through. Now, my point is, people, is that INFJs, I do believe that we have examples of the natural world, of the of the animal world, of the science, the physics of the galaxy, of our solar system. There's many examples that we can use. Now, that was just one example. This is a reflection of our heart. These moltings, these stages of the lobster molting, is what we have in our soul, what we have in our spirit. These constant changes. Now, we molten in a spiritual way. We break down, we isolate, we go through things, we come out of it better. We come out of it redefined in a way. Yes, we get older too. We get a little bit bigger. I mean, we change a little bit, but not like we're shedding a shell. Not literally, but we are spiritually. Now, these are supposed to guide us into being our most authentic selves. Until we understand and until we develop that way, we have to understand that that's what we're forging from. And a lot of our conflicts come from this. Because our natural individual self has to be more in tune with the Creator, with who created them. I think ultimately, yes, I do believe we're a spiritual being. And I do believe we're linked with our ultimate Creator. And I think the more that we become individualized, the more we find our own true authentic self, is the more we are understanding our Creator's code, our own God code, which I've spoken about before. The more we're in sync with that. And usually people, the only thing is that it takes a long time. It takes a lifetime. A lot of times you see the older, wiser people talking this way because they spent most of their life finding this. A lot of times it's the elders that talk this way because it's meant to have been found in usually lifetimes. As you're younger, I mean, yeah, a lot of different things are going on. Your discoveries are always constantly there. But I'm just trying to tell you that the point of this video is the fact that, yes, we have stages. And we do go through our bouts, and a lot of our conflict has to do with these bouts that I've talked about before, too. Okay? Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I can think of anything else to say. I mean, I'm sure I could, people, if I would. I could keep rambling on here a little more, but I think I made my point for this particular video and for what it's all about. Okay? I'm going to have to come up with a name for this video now that I think of it, people. Okay. So anyway, people, thank you so much and if you're still stuck around with me this long, I want to appreciate you for sticking around. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And leave your comments, leave your thumbs up, and share this video if you would, please. Just to let people know that this is worth watching somewhere else, okay? That's basically what we're looking for here, people. So that was my message of the day, and I hope it was helpful to you people in some way, okay? Oh, wait, hold on a second, people. If you want to see some other videos, they're up here. They're up here. There's a video, there's a couple of playlists, and over here is going to be my subscription thing, too. Okay? Well, thank you so much again, people. And until the next time, have yourself a wonderful rest of your day.